एक डिस्कोर्स चल रहा था कि अरे एआई कुछ नहीं है।
They want to address the working class, लेकिन उससे working class थोड़ी insecure भी है। जैसे इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन में they were insecure कि एग्रीकल्चर खत्म हो जाएगा।
The functional aspect is missing.
Gone, like they can't bend their arms.
Just like you have a physical gym, you need to have a cognitive gym.
Accelerated version of capitalism will eventually make a path for communism. जहाँ पर बैठ के तुम सोचोगे Socrates बन जाओगे, going around asking people questions for the sake of asking questions.
How did Socrates die?
Hemlock.
People don't want to be Socrates.
Yeah, sorry, I'll forget it. मैं इससे पहले बोल दूँ कि I would love to see a Socrates high on LSD.
But eventually the talk is about
how feasible is it? It is highly energy intensive job AI का. And for a boss, another incentive is अगर उसे काम अच्छा नहीं लगा तो उसे डांट AI को डांट नहीं सकता. उसके पास कॉलर होता है. आपको लगता है हमारी कन्वर्सेशन ज्वाइन कर?
नहीं, because it's very happy to just wag its tail and eat the food that you are giving. It's deviating to the mean, na? It's giving you a very basic vanilla product. If you are okay with it, you're okay with it.
The innovation came before the evolution.
Universal basic income, which is what?
A pipe dream. Now that's petty chat.
That's petty chat.
So hello guys, पहले एपिसोड की अपार सफलता के बाद वेलकम टू द सेकंड एपिसोड ऑफ द बिग बेटर पॉडकास्ट.
Interestingly, first episode was about we delved into consciousness. और अभी अपना सेकंड एपिसोड का फर्स्ट टॉपिक है about religion and philosophy. So our first article is about Pope Leo's encyclical, which is quite a big thing. To if we look at it that way, because इसके पहले के जो भी थे those talk about like genuine inflection points. जैसे उसके पहले उन्होंने बात किया था इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन के बारे में, बर्थ कंट्रोल के बारे में, इकोनॉमिक्स के बारे में, लेबर लॉज और ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी, एंड अब जाके वो बात कर रहे हैं एआई के ऊपर. So what do you think that conveys the fact that he has addressed it and he's talking about it? What do you think it signifies?
First of all, we should talk about the idea of encyclical, which is this letter that Vatican City, the Pope write for the members of
Bishops
Catholic Church, not bishops, whoever is the member of that Catholic Church. मैं अगर रोमन कैथलिक हूँ या मैं कैथलिक हूँ, then it is for me it's like an directive, जैसे फतवा होता है. But fatwa it's less of a directive and more of a command. But it is less of a command and more of a directive.
So यहाँ पे it's more about the guidelines के बोल रहे मोटा मोटी तौर पे ऐसा है and then you see. But what you hinted at कि it's meant for the Catholic community, that used to be the case earlier. अभी it's more like an open letter.
Yeah,
कि वो
mostly that.
भाई अब मैंने ये बोल दिया है and so what happened in case of industrial revolution was कि over a period of time they used that as a fodder to create certain policies. So इसका impact may be direct अभी ना हो, few years down the line or decades down the line they might take this as a base and then formulate certain policies.
So basically, coming back to the encyclical itself, the first encyclical that was written, it was written for the worker rights. In the industrial revolution. उससे पहले like the church wants to have a certain population, क्योंकि शुरुआत से ही the church or this institution of theology in that particular type of religion was formed for the working class. And they want to address the working class. तो जो नई चीज आती है for the working class, लेकिन उससे working class थोड़ी insecure भी है. जैसे इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन में they were insecure कि एग्रीकल्चर खत्म हो जाएगा क्योंकि अब सब फैक्ट्रीज में काम करेंगे, बट फैक्ट्रीज में आप वी आर नॉट ट्रेन्ड इनफ और व्हाटएवर. तो उसके लिए दिस एनसिक्लिकल वाज लाइक नॉर्मलाइजिंग द फैक्ट कि इवन इफ यू वांट टू वर्क इन फैक्ट्रीज, दैट्स द रियलिटी ऑफ द टाइम. तो दैट पोप उस टाइम पे जो था पोप लियो द 13, उसने ये एनसिक्लिकल जारी किया था पहली बार. लेकिन उसमें लाइक every encyclical that we're gonna talk about here is about this only, the normalizing of a new type of phenomena, whether it's the Cold War encyclical जहाँ पर वो world peace के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, like कि लड़ो मत लड़ो, and it's so simple. Even in this encyclical what he's talking about, which we gonna discuss further, is ki how he's saying ki whatever the case, your life has a better value than AI. So it's more of a reassurance as well, but acknowledgement at the same time. Yeah.
So in all the cases, essentially what they have addressed is the moral and social challenges that were prevalent during those eras. So why I asked you what this means is probably जो एक discourse चल रहा था कि अरे AI कुछ नहीं है, this is probably just another version of internet. Now this is a huge like an underlining thing कि अगर अब तो पोप ने भी बोल दिया है कि it has probably reached that level where this is genuinely going to create a huge impact. And if we look at the precursors to that, which was कि industrial revolution के time पे बोला, वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद बोला, क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर बोला, सो देन इन अ वे अभी ये बाय डिजाइन हुआ है कि नहीं पता नहीं, बट इट सर्टेनली एआई इज नाउ इन दैट पैंथियन कि वो लेवल का क्राइसिस बोलो या टॉपिक बोलो या वी हैव रीच्ड दैट स्टेज. तो दैट इज समथिंग दैट द वर्ल्ड नीड्स टू अवेकन टू, बिकॉज जो एक टेक वाला जो नैरेटिव होता है ना, उनका वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट है उसमें कि भाई हमारा कंपनी बड़ा होएगा, हमको और उसमें फंडिंग मिलेगा, सो दे आर ऑब्वियसली गोइंग टू talk more about it. But when like institutions like these, they are also talking, then that signifies कि okay, now certainly we need to look at this seriously, because now this has crossed into this religion and government scenario. Because directly, even in the industrial revolution, like you mentioned, working class effect हो रहा है कि jobs पे बात आ रही है. When jobs पे बात आ रही है तो उसमें like the social fabric is impacted, right? तो उसमें government भी आ गया कि अगर लोग खाली बैठ रहे हैं तो क्या करेंगे? Maybe they'll revolt against whom? Against the government
or the ruling,
or whatever the ruling classes. तो जिसमें वो industrialists भी आ गए, government at across levels भी आ गए, so that is why their position can be threatened. So that is why it is a crucial thing that has come into the limelight, and everyone is pitching in. And another interesting thing that happened in this particular case was the founder or co-founder of Anthropic was also there. Now that is also different kind of signal where one of these companies is being represented, or they are saying we consciously want to be here, whereas the other two, which is OpenAI and Google, का कोई presence नहीं है. Of course China and all that is like a parallel universe that's going on, but यहाँ के case में again, like we discussed in the first episode, Anthropic is probably trying to position themselves as ethical. So this is another way of doing it. See, we are by your side. Now this Pope is also saying, so we are also like a part of this. So maybe that is another interesting narrative that is panning out in this case.
तो मेरे हिसाब से like what I got out of this article was कि how whenever a new thing comes, whether it's birth control, whether it's economic crisis, the authority, because it's an old authority, like Roman Church was the state, separation of church and state happened way after the time. So in a way it was a ruling class, but ruling class that was representing the working class at the decision making level. So, and they want their participants in the church to have a certain sense of calm in them कि पैनिक मत करो, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन हो जाएगा तो पैनिक करने की जरूरत नहीं है,
आपने घबराना नहीं है. बेसिकली वही बोल रहे हैं ना कि बट ही इज आल्सो सेइंग लाइक इन अ वे ही इज पोजीशनिंग हिमसेल्फ और दिस अथॉरिटी अबव एआई.
हाँ, तो
so is there a way like they are starting to feel threatened by it because it is alien? We don't know how it's going to pan out. So maybe this is a way of doing that as well. Okay, we are above this. We are the authority no matter what comes, what else comes in.
वहां पर आई रेड द ओरिजिनल एनसिक्लिकल जो कि पोप ने लिखा है, और उसमें ही सेड अ फ्यू थिंग्स जो कि मुझे ऐसे लगा कि ओ दीज थिंग्स आर वर्थ टॉकिंग अबाउट, बिकॉज ही इज नॉट इनसिक्योर इन सच अ वे, बट ही इज इन अ वे, हाउ शुड आई पुट इट, इन अ वे समवेयर इन द प्लेस ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी अबाउट एआई, बिकॉज वहां पर उसने इन दैट सेम एनसिक्लिकल ही रोट कि विद द हार्ट ऑफ अ शेपर्ड एंड अ फादर, व्हिच इज लाइक टॉकिंग ऑफ Abraham here, I ask everyone to abandon the construction of yet another Tower of Babel and to join forces in building up the common good so that humanity will never lose its beauty. Now he is pointing out कि हम अलग है, the separation of the subject and object, and he's trying best to put AI in the realm of object.
So it's us versus them. Basically, that binary is being created.
Even if it's not versus, like he's saying कि you can take AI as a sheep. तुम्हें sheep से wool मिलता था, दूध मिलता था, then eventually you wanna eat it. तो it's like an thing that you can use, like it is for you. In the Abrahamic tradition, there's a thing कि God created man and he created world for man. तो यहाँ पर वो बोल रहा है AI है, उसमें इंटेलिजेंस इज नॉट द सेम काइंड ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस एज अस, बिकॉज गॉड क्रिएटेड अस इन हिज ओन इमेज. तो हमारा जो इंटेलिजेंस है, इट इज समथिंग सिमिलर टू गॉड. So you can't say that whatever we build, humans, we can't claim कि उसमें जो type of intelligence है, उसमें जो type of cognition है, वो हमारी तरह है, क्योंकि हमारा जो है वो गॉड को रेप्लिकेट करता है या रिप्रेजेंट करता है. एंड वी कैन से कि वी आर ऑन पार विद गॉड इन क्रिएटिंग समथिंग दैट कैन इन अ थर्ड डिग्री रिप्रेजेंट हिज लेवल ऑफ इंटेलेक्ट.
बेसिकली एक अलग कैटेगरी काइंड ऑफ क्रिएट हो गया ना, कि दैट इज सेपरेट देन अस एंड ट्रीट इट लाइक दैट. दैट ब्रिंग्स टू एन इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग. लाइक वो कहानी सुनी है ना, ब्लाइंड मैन एंड द एलिफेंट वाली, कि वेयर एन एलिफेंट एक गांव में आता है जिसमें गांव वालों ने कभी उस क्रीचर को देखा नहीं है, एंड 5 ब्लाइंड मैन आर कॉल्ड टू डिस्क्राइब. तो वो किसी का, वो हाथी का पूंछ छूते हैं या किसी कोई टस्क छूता है, तो हाथी ऐसा है, हाथी वैसा है. तो अब एआई का ना वैसा हो गया है कि एवरीवन हैज अ डिफरेंट डेफिनेशन ऑफ एआई एंड आउटलुक ऑफ एआई, एंड वो उस हिसाब से चल रहे हैं. सो देयर इज नो यूनिफाइड थियरी और यूनिफाइड अप्रोच विथ विच एवरीवन इज लुकिंग एट इट. अब कोई उसको, लाइक वी डिस्कस, देयर वर 4 नैरेटिव्स पिछले एपिसोड में, तो कोई उसको टूल देख रहा है, कोई उसको एज अ फ्रेंड देख रहा है,
कोई उसको कॉन्शियस बीइंग देख रहा है.
रिचर्ड डॉकिंस जैसे पिछले एपिसोड में हमने बात की कि कॉन्शियसनेस की बात करें, यहाँ पे तो इस पोप ने जैसे उसको सेग्रीगेट ही कर दिया कि ये अलग कैटेगरी का ही है.
शीप ही है वो बेसिकली. वो तो यही बोल रहा है कि इट्स लाइक अ शीप. It's like any other object that you can use for your own good, but it is not in the same category as you, we as humans. उसी में उसने सेम encyclical में अगले पैराग्राफ में he went on to describe one more. Are we being too critical of Pope? Is it our sensibilities that are speaking? I don't know. Like I just thought that I should point that out. कि maybe the tradition that we come from is not Abrahamic by the sense. So the way we are looking at it, as
we are looking at it very objectively, there is this authority figure who has said something and we are sharing
in his own tradition. He said these things according to the theology of his own tradition. So we are just trying to point that out. So usi encyclical mein he went on to say that humanity in all its grandeur and woundness must never be replaced or surpassed. Must is a like he had to emphasize on must. That says a lot here. Aage he goes on to saying we can embrace the technological progress that alleviates suffering and unlocks new possibilities, provided that we do not abandon the very essence of humanity, namely the capacity for relationship and love. So basically वो भी यहाँ पर eventually में तो insecurity वही आ गई जो डॉकिंस की थी, जो उसने क्लॉडिया बना दिया था अपना, कि we can't replace an idea of relationship, an idea of love with AI.
यहाँ पे भी बात वो हो रहा है कि ह्यूमैनिटी नीड्स टू बी एट द एपेक्स एंड एवरीथिंग एल्स इज बिलो इट. So that's the idea being propagated. But what I am interested in is that it has sent some shivers down these institutions. That is why ये हो रहा है. So that is a good narrative to look at. It has probably reached at that stage. So even the companies, they are also not looking at it just as a tool, right? So they have also brought in philosophers to in their company. To what? To train them, to train the characters of AI, to kind of mold them on morals. And morals, like you and I know, can be very subjective. Whose morals are they going to train AI on? Are those Western morals? Or are those Eastern morals? Does humanity agree on a certain set of morals? Just like we don't agree what AI is. AI is different for X person, for Y person. The moral compass is also quite different for different people. For someone who maybe in Afghanistan has a different moral compass, someone in Sri Lanka has a different moral compass. So when these companies are kind of dictating the AI what morals should be, then which moral
it should take.
It should take, and which morals are they referring to? So right now we are at a stage where all this is getting fed. All this is इसके बोलते हैं ना कि seed sow हो रहे हैं. So these are very important questions जो like probably 20-30 years down the line उसके implications बहुत होंगे.
मुझे 20-30 years तो काफी कम लगता है for this, but इसमें like you have to look at another point, which is कि all of these encyclicals came at an inflection point. ठीक है, जहाँ पर there's a economic crisis that was triggered by the industrial revolution, क्योंकि industries आए तो एक economy बनी. Economy पहले भी थी, but it was more agricultural, dependent on weather, soil, location, water, rivers and all of that. But then suddenly industries came and people started building and manufacturing, and the dependency on that reduced, and a new sort of economy came. And all of these encyclicals, because Catholic Church is dependent on the members that it represents, so it want members of its organization to be reassured and taken into a consideration कि they are not being left behind. तुम चिंता मत करो, we are thinking about it, and we'll make sure, like the significance of the co-founder of Anthropic being there, in a way it is reassuring कि the common people, the common person, they are still fine, they'll still get jobs. The whole economy will survive.
तुम चिंता मत करो, हम लोग
हैं, हम कर रहे हैं तुम्हारे लिए कुछ तो. It's such a pitiful thing to say कि तुम्हारे पास जो है वो बहुत बढ़िया है, किसी और के पास नहीं होगा. तो वो वही कह रहा है ना वे कि ह्यूमैनिटी के पास जो है इट इज समवेयर रियली स्पेशल कि कोई और वो ले नहीं सकता. तो तुम इनसिक्योर मत हो, तुम्हारी जो इंटेलेक्ट है, तुम्हारी जो बेसिकली तुम्हारा जो सोल है वो रिक्रिएट नहीं हो सकता. तो लाइक गिविंग इट अ रीअश्योरेंस एंड सेइंग कि सब ठीक रहेगा. हाँ, सब ठीक रहेगा. तो बेसिकली दैट ओनली. हर एक में जैसे इवन विद द बर्थ कंट्रोल पिल्स, वो उस पे भी इंसिक्लिकल है. दैट वाज द प्लेस जहां से स्टार्ट हुआ.
सो एवरीथिंग इज इंटरमेश्ड, राइट? मतलब वो कुछ आइसोलेशन में नहीं चल रहा है. ऑल दीज आर पॉलिटिकल पॉइंट्स आल्सो. ये सारे मुद्दों पे इलेक्शन जीते गए, हारे गए हैं. सो देयर इज अ कल्मिनेशन ऑफ एवरीथिंग.
वेटिकन वांट्स टू स्टे इन अ सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ पावर इन द कॉमन पीपल्स माइंड के इस टाइप का जो एक अथॉरिटी है वो होना चाहिए कि वेटिकन सेड दैट द पीपल ऑफ इट्स चर्च शुड रिमेन दिस. तो वो भी चाहते हैं, वो भी नहीं चाहते कि वो चला जाए उनसे वो सेट ऑफ पावर.
सो इसमें एक और इंटरेस्टिंग एस्पेक्ट ये है कि इफ यू रोल बैक अ फ्यू इयर्स, सैम ऑल्टमैन हिमसेल्फ हैड कम अहेड एंड सेड वी वांट टू बी रेगुलेटेड. So again, the Anthropic co-founder being here is also kind of like that. Okay, we are here, we are in support of whatever you are saying, and we will work things out together, which is in sharp contrast to what Mark Zuckerberg kind of did. If you see in the previous decade, so it is like a learnings. Maybe उनका PR team ने वो लर्निंग दिया हुआ है कि भाई हमें इस प्रॉब्लम में नहीं पड़ना है. सो यू माइट एज वेल कम आउट एंड से वी आर काइंड ऑफ विथ यू एंड वी वांट टू बी रेगुलेटेड. जो भी उसके लिए चीजें चाहिए होंगी, वी विल वर्क थिंग्स आउट टुगेदर
एंड वी वांट द कॉमन गुड ऑफ एवरीबॉडी. इसे टूल की तरह लो, इवन इफ इट्स समथिंग मोर देन दैट. तो मैं इसके बारे में लाइक इट्स लाइक अ पिल कि बेटा सो जा, नींद आ जाएगी. नींद नहीं आ रही, चलो मैं तुम्हें पिल देता हूँ कि तो बहुत अच्छा है तेरे लिए, सब जिंदगी बहुत बढ़िया है. देन फिर सो जा. इट्स लाइक दैट. इट्स अ सप्लीमेंट शांत करने के लिए. तो
so why is that insecurity though? One is like you mentioned कि insecurity. The second is कि there shouldn't be ramifications of that. Like there's basically what I'm trying to say कि civil war ना हो जाए. जो status को maintain किया गया है उसमें there shouldn't be any cracks. Who will get affected by that? Companies will get affected, governments will get affected, industrialist funding, all these things will get affected, and people of course will. तो ये जो है एक narrative और एक status को बनाए रखने के लिए all these things are important, and they are being done that way. So that is also there. Another point which is quite interesting, you mentioned about the Western lens. Now they also look at things from a one truth philosophy, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything is good or bad. I'm just pointing it
just
out.
pointing it
that
out.
They look at it from a one truth philosophy, and we are looking at it from a plurality centric point of view, which is the Eastern philosophy. Now, if you see, when we were using Google search 3-4 years ago, we used to put in our query and we used to get 10 links, 20 links, 30, हर एक page पे जो भी links आ रहे हैं. And it was our job to figure out what was the truth. Whereas now, with AI mode coming in and with these LLMs giving you the answer directly, they are saying this is the truth. So that is a very sharp contrast that has happened, where the shift has happened in saying that this is what it is. Now, if you want to challenge that, fair enough. They are also giving links. It's not like ke, yahi hai. They are also giving links. But how many people are going to do that? The tendency of people generally is कि मैंने कुछ टाइप किया, मेरे को आंसर मिल गया, हो गया भाई ये.
आगे बढ़ो.
Now, if this becomes the norm, few years down the line, then we come to that, right? One truth, this is the
Narrative
truth.
shift.
Yeah, that is the narrative shift that happens. And that is kind of dangerous on multiple grounds. For example, medical case में, like we used to joke, right? कि अगर आप Google पे अपना symptoms check करोगे तो eventually you are going to lead to cancer. But right now, अगर कुछ डालोगे तो maybe it is giving something, maybe it is giving XYZ things, maybe it is giving cancer also. So, are we going to take that as a matter of fact? Are we taking that, are going to take that as a truth?
अभी सो यहाँ पर है द न्यू वे टू एसईओ हैज कम अप. जो पहले होता था कि आर्टिकल्स, ब्लॉग्स और वो सब पोस्ट करो एंड उससे अगर ज्यादा लोग वो पढ़ेंगे तो वो ज्यादा ट्रेंड होगा एंड यू गोना गेट अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रैफिक एंड दैट्स हाउ यू गोना शेप द नैरेटिव. अभी द न्यू वे ऑफ एसईओ इज टू ट्रेन द एआई. So AI is also picking up the data from the same articles, from the same knowledge that there is on the internet. तो वहाँ पर if I need to, and this is a good shift that I genuinely think that should have happened a long time ago. Now it is judging the quality of the content that it's taking the data from. अगर उसको 20 सेम टाइप का आंसर मिल रहा है 20 जगह से, तो उसे वो नेगेट कर देता है. There is not a different perspective that it can put up. फिर से ही बोल रहा हूँ मैं तो सब्जेक्टिविटी दे रहा हूँ AI को, सॉरी. तो वो अगर 20 सेम तरह के नैरेटिव उसे मिल रहा है, वो उसे एक लेगा वो करके. लेकिन द क्वालिटी ऑफ कंटेंट, द फ्रेशनेस ऑफ योर आइडिया, द पर्सपेक्टिव दैट यू ब्रिंग, इट शुड बी अ न्यू पर्सपेक्टिव, और उसको वो अनदर ट्रेनिंग पॉइंट लेगा. एंड देन इट विल प्रेजेंट अ समरी ऑफ द होल थिंग एज 100 में से 90 आर्टिकल एक जैसी चीज बोल रहे हैं तो प्रीडोमिनेंटली वो बोलेगा. लेकिन अगर उसमें से 10 आर्टिकल जो हैं अगर 10 तरह से डिफर कर रहे हैं तो वो 10 तरह को भी कंसिडर करेगा. एंड देन इट विल present an idea. लेकिन फिर दूसरा हो जाएगा how you are reacting to it.
So it works in certain cases. Say if we are discussing a theorem which is established, तो वो अगर हम सर्च कर रहे हैं और उसका आंसर आता है तो there is no contesting that fact. वो हर एक जगह पे उसका आंसर वही आने वाला है. But if we say to get into history के 1600s में XYZ जगह पे क्या हुआ था, and it gives one answer. So that is kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Because we are shaping the narrative. We don't know exactly क्या हुआ था. And if we kind of went the previous route, we might have checked 5 different links, maybe had some research paper, went through research papers and all, and then come to our conclusion, which is not the case in this particular
scenario. That's where I'm saying it takes in consideration those 5 articles as well जो कि उसे negate कर रहे हैं. लेकिन भले ही उसे छोटा section देगा, but it will say कि even after saying all this, these are the 5 points that object to it. लेकिन वो पहली conversation में ये तुम्हें देगा, then it will predict the next token कि तुम उसे रिएक्ट कैसे करने वाले हो. उस हिसाब से फिर वो अपने आप को, क्योंकि उसको तो रखना है ना,
so
he
that,
wants you to stay on.
But the onus kind of shifts on the person searching. Like we'll have to ask कि अरे ऐसा सच्ची में था क्या? Are there any critical points against this? So how many people are going to do that? That is the question. Like if you're going to take the first thing that comes up, then it's kind of problematic in certain scenarios. In certain scenarios, it is good and it is extremely helpful. It saves a lot of time.
Have you been in inter-thread conversations के जहाँ पर वो आपकी personality समझ गया सिर्फ एक thread की वजह से नहीं, like it has gone into multiple thread and now he understands it understands your personality and now it is shaping all the answers that it is giving based on that one thread. ऐसा आपके साथ हुआ and based on your personality, sorry.
So there is an update that happened recently in, I think ChatGPT में recently हुआ है, Google में थोड़े टाइम पहले हुआ था, called personal intelligence. So there is a toggle that you can switch on and off. Switch on करोगे तो it will know whatever you have chatted in different kind of threads and use that. If you toggle it off, then it will stick to that particular thread. So it gives you the choice, right? Do you want that to happen or don't want it to happen?
What I wanna know is the shift. अगर आपको inter thread conversation कर रहे हो, how it is answering your question, and if you are turning that off, the personal intelligence, then how is it different in either cases?
So in some cases, it just references the previous thread. Like if in a particular thread I have asked it XYZ questions, it has the tennis memory, and probably at the end of the answer, it will say because you are XYZ, this point is useful, or it can be, it can lead to other things. So personally, I don't like that because I search a lot of things of different categories and different subjects. So they are not usually interrelated. So it's not kind of helpful for me. Also, another thing I have done is as a system prompt, I have inserted the prompt saying, okay, you avoid psychophancy, basically something that we had discussed last time. So be critical of what I am saying, be my sparring partner, challenge my ideas. So it is taking that as an input and then discussing whatever points that I am asking it to do.
Maybe the Pope's encyclical is valid, but maybe it's not. I don't think it's gonna change any direction. It's just gonna bring AI into the mainstream narrative.
So another thing that has happened, CBSE has introduced AI at a very granular level. So that also points to a certain narrative, right? Okay, this is important and this is the future.
How comfortable we are getting with it.
How comfortable we are getting with it, just like we got comfortable with Google, and we are also getting comfortable with these LLMs.
Chalo, let's come to our second article. The second article is from Mint, and the article is that Chinese startup claims it developed an AI caller that translates human words into barks and meows.
And vice versa.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Plato? Plato?
Collar लगाना पड़ेगा.
Collar लगाना पड़ेगा. So, क्या लगा?
That's the product that they have is called Petty Chat. Okay, and I don't know if it's petty or not, but what I am thinking of is, apart from certain edge cases, conversations तो हो ही रही है ना. I'm sure कि you have a certain way of communicating with Plato, and Plato also has a certain way of communicating with you.
Yeah.
तो ये क्यों चाहिए?
क्योंकि we have two insecurities. We want everything that we interact with to be more like us. लेकिन the moment they are like us, we are insecure. There's nothing special about me. तो पोप ने मेंशन किया था, चिंता मत करो, you are special, your intelligence is of a special kind, of God's own made or whatever. The intelligence is God's own made rather than it in his own image. लेकिन यहाँ पर हमको लगता है कि they are for us, because obviously they are for us. मैं इनको कमरे में रखता हूँ ताकि शाम को आऊँ तो मुझे दिखें ये, और मुझे अपनी लोनलीनेस का ज्यादा महसूस ना हो मुझे. बट वी वांट, वो कर्व नहीं होता ना वो लोनलीनेस. वी स्टिल नीड ह्यूमन कनेक्शन. तो अभी वी नीड अ सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ कनेक्शन विद दिस पैट, लेकिन नॉट ह्यूमन टाइप. अगर हमें उसे ट्रांसपास करना है तो ह्यूमन टाइप ऑफ कन्वर्सेशन क्रिएट करना है हमें उनके साथ. और कितनी बार बोलते हैं काश मैं समझ पाता ये क्या बोल रहा है, लेकिन तुम समझते हो. उसे भूख लगता है वो बोलता है, उसे बाहर जाना है वो बोलता है, उसे प्यास लगी है वो बोलता है, वो म्याऊ ही कर रहा है, वो सेम ही म्याऊ कर रहा है. बट यू वुड गेस कि वो किस लिए म्याऊ कर रहा है. तो इसकी जरूरत है नहीं है कोई मैटर ही नहीं करता.
आई थिंक इट जरूरत वो कैपिटलिज्म वाले पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में है. एंड ऑल्सो मे बी व्हाट दे विल गेट टू इट इज लाइक अ बिग बॉस फॉर कैट्स और अ बिग बॉस फॉर डॉग. वही है ना, ये जो बात कर रहे हो हमें समझ में आएगा. उनको माइक लगा दिया और उनको छोड़ देंगे, बीच में कुछ खाने का डाल देंगे, वो छीन लेंगे और वो लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो रहा है भाई.
Now that's petty chat.
That's petty chat. No, but on a serious note, I think what this will do is we will get dependent on the product, which is problematic. Like for instance, right now you have a certain history with your cat. Your cat has a certain history with you. It knows what you mean maybe 80 to 90% of the time, and same for you. But now when this intermediary comes in between, the onus shifts on that. And
वो बताए मुझे.
You will start doubting your own intuitions and your skills, and say कि नहीं अब ये शायद ऐसा बोल रहा है तो मुझे ये करना चाहिए. Which is also happening in other realms. Let's say if you are writing some marketing copy और वो कुछ दे रहा है, because you have certain experience, you have certain skills, you know कि ये सही है कि नहीं है. But now for someone who doesn't know it, they might say नहीं ये बोल रहा है ना, ये authority है, ये ले ले. So it gets problematic on those fronts where if we put in such intermediaries in between, they get the power, and over a period of time we lose our power to interpret these conversations and what we want to say. Now again, after a few years down the line, they have the power over it, so they'll start to monetize it. And we are essentially outsourcing our skills to that, which is the larger level issue with such products, and in general what we are facing with these LLMs for XYZ skills. Like you don't outsource the judgment to it. What's going to matter eventually is the taste. Like what kind of taste you have and what kind of judgment you are going to make based on that. Because access तो सबको आ गया, intelligence तो ये electricity जैसा हो गया ना, कि you can just rent it or you can just subscription ले लिया, now you have intelligence. उसका करोगे क्या? उसका जो करोगे वो तुम्हारे टेस्ट के ऊपर डिपेंड है, और उसको तुम जजमेंट क्या पास करोगे उसके ऊपर है. If all these three are outsourced, then what are you left to do? You will just be like a follower. पहले एक बॉस का ऑर्डर फॉलो करते थे, अब एक LLM का ऑर्डर फॉलो कर रहे हैं.
Have you seen Wall-E?
In
The
parts,
movie,
I think.
yeah, उसमें before the robot comes to Earth, they have shown a society जहाँ पर humans have evolved to a certain degree, जहाँ पर they are too obese, too dumb, too just not human-like intelligent to do anything, because वो सब उन्होंने आउटसोर्स कर दिया to the robots, to the intelligence whatsoever. मुझे वही इमेज आती है whenever anybody talks of how it can improve the life in a certain kind. Anyways, मेरा यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन ये है, how correct is it? Like because it is trained on behavior, and behavior is not language. Behavior is a different kind of language than what intention is. Like my cat, अभी आपने जब when we were sitting in the room, I pointed that out कि वो बाहर जाएगा. मैंने AC चल रहा है तो मैंने कमरा बंद कर रखा है. वो कमरे से बाहर जाएगा. जैसे ही कमरे से बाहर जाएगा, फिर वो लौट के उसे कमरे में दोबारा आना है. उसका इंटेंशन है, वो उसका विल है, वो लाइक हाउ विल यू कैटेगराइज दैट इन लैंग्वेज? सो how correct is this?
So let's not call it language or behavior or anything. Let's put it under the bucket of data. कि उसको ये इतना सारा डेटा फीड किया गया है और उसके बेसिस के ऊपर वो आंसर कर रहा है. बट द क्वेश्चन रिमेन्स, ये सब तो तुम्हें पहले से पता है ना, तो ये किसके लिए है? उसके लिए है जो जिसने कभी पेट्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट नहीं किया है, एंड दे वांट अ पेट. देन दे वुड से अरे यार मैं कैसे करूं, ना तो मेरे पास कोई इसका नॉलेज है, समझ ही नहीं है, ना मेरे साथ कोई है जो कभी पेट्स के साथ रहा है, तो अल्लाह चलो लेट मी बाय दिस कॉलर. व्हिच अगेन टाइज इनटू हाउ पीपल आर यूजिंग दीज LLMs. इफ यू आर यूजिंग द LLMs फॉर योर ओन स्किल रिलेटेड टू योर ओन रेंज ऑफ स्किल्स एंड टैलेंट, देन यू हैव अ सर्टेन आइडिया. Now, if I use an LLM to make a rocket ship, I don't have any idea about how it's supposed to be done. तो मैं वो जो बोल रहा है वो करूंगा, because subject matter expert तो मैं हूँ नहीं. बट वही अगर मैं उसको कुछ लिखने के लिए यूज करूं, तो मुझे पता है कि ये कहाँ गड़बड़ कर रहा है.
Because I know.
Because I am the subject matter expert on that. So what people essentially need to think of is that if you are a subject matter expert, then you need to use it in a particular way. If you are not, then you need to use it in a particular way where you question it, where you cross check it, and then proceed ahead. I have one point on this. So you mentioned about Wall-E, right? So usme to avoid that kind of scenario, what the industrial revolution or maybe later on like the IT revolution did. So वो हम इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन में एटलीस्ट देयर वाज सम फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, राइट? आईटी में तो वो भी नहीं, लाइक हम बैठे हुए कुर्सी पे काम कर रहे हैं. सो देन वी सिमुलेटेड द फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट इन अ फिजिकल जिम, कि हम जिम में जा रहे हैं, एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं. नाउ व्हेन वी आर आउटसोर्सिंग आवर कॉग्निटिव एबिलिटीज, वी नीड अ कॉग्निटिव जिम as well. Yeah. And that is where you kind of keep your brain power alive or intelligence power alive, where you exercise your thinking, you think about how you think. Maybe reading is a good way of doing it. You read certain any book, maybe it's fiction, non-fiction, any article or something like we are doing. We are taking a certain article and we are thinking about that. In fact, we are thinking is also not the right way to put it. We are just accessing before that also accessing the thoughts that come to our mind. on those topics कि ये मैंने पढ़ा, उसके ऊपर मेरे दिमाग में ये आया, and we are kind of discussing that. So that is an active way of keeping your intelligence active, or maybe the cognitive gym that I was talking about. People can do it in different ways that they want, but it is crucial. Just like you have a physical gym, you need to have a cognitive gym.
यहाँ पर मुझे काफी आयरोनिकल लगा कि the accelerated version of capitalism will eventually make a path for communism. जहाँ पर बैठ के तुम सोचोगे सोक्रेटिस बन जाओगे, आज मैंने पूरे दिन में क्या करना है, जैसे अभी a guy who has enough money and all of that, वो सुबह जिम जाता है 2 घंटे, शाम को जिम जाता है 2 घंटे, फिर 2 घंटे रनिंग करता है and all of that. वो उससे जरूरत नहीं है वो कुछ करने की, बट हेल्दी रहने के लिए. तो ऐसे ही हेल्दी माइंड के लिए you will all become Socrates, going around asking people questions for the sake of asking questions.
But that will not happen. By how did Socrates die?
Hemlock.
People don't want to be Socrates.
But like यहाँ पर अब there's not a, जैसे पहले भी the warriors were training so that they can go and actually fight in a war. तो उन्हें sword fight करना है या उन्हें weight training करना है ताकि they can put on some muscle mass and gain some strength and actually use that in a war. And ऐसी Socrates was asking so that it can get some sort of metaphysics out of it. अभी तो you are working for the sake of working out. ऐसे ही you will be asking questions for the sake of asking. तो वहां पर जो वो एक्सपेक्ट था ना कि अरे हेमलॉक दे देगा तुझे पूरा कंट्री मिलके, वो खत्म हो जाएगा. तुम बस ऐसे, क्योंकि एक नहीं पूछेगा, फिर सब पूछने लगेंगे. पहले एक गांव में एक वॉरियर होता था, अभी एक मोहल्ले में 10 जिम जा रहा है. ऐसे ही अभी वो ही हो जाएगा कि पहले सोक्रेटिस एक ही था एथेंस में, लेकिन अभी मलाड में हर 50 सोक्रेटिस. नई योजना.
No, see, I'll like to correct you on one point. We are not just working out for the sake of working out. We are working out for our health.
लेकिन जैसे जिम में जो कर रहे हैं ना,
वो एस्थेटिक्स के लिए कर रहा है, that is a different scenario.
Even that threshold has been crossed a long time ago. Like they are the most unhealthiest people we know. They can't run.
The functional aspect is missing.
Gone. Like they can't bend their arms. Like they are working out for the sake of working out.
If you're there doing it for aesthetics, then it's a different
Even
story.
not aesthetics like a desirable masculine body was. They have way past it. Like look at Ronnie Coleman or a regular gym boy who is an ambitious bodybuilder. Look at their bodies. They are not desirable. They are just puffed up at random places. And like now the idea of working out is only the thing that remain. बाकी सब खत्म हो गया. वैसे ही Socrates.
So again, it is the proportion. Like how many out of 10 people are doing it for health, and how many of them are doing just for aesthetics or for these things. So that would be the question. But the point about the capitalism and communism.
Yeah, sorry, I'll forget it. मैं इससे पहले बोल दूं कि I would love to see a Socrates high on LSD. High on LSD soon. Yeah, sorry.
So the point about capitalism and communism is that eventually the talk is about universal basic income, which is what?
A pipe dream. It's
dream.
not gonna happen. No, because if they'll provide you a universal basic income, there's no remaining charge sheet. They can't project profit, they can't project losses, they can't project growth, because it is all irrelevant now. So it's a pipe dream. Even in Norway or Sweden, जहाँ पर they have sold a lot of their natural resources and made a national basic income, and उन्होंने invest कर रखा है in pensions and all of that. Even that country does not have a basic income for everybody. Like people are still working there, but in a better condition though, still are working. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि powers to be allowed that.
So if people don't have jobs, then they'll not have the money to buy the products that the capitalism is selling.
Yeah.
So UBI is basically giving them certain income to buy these just to keep the basics intact.
खरीदे तो सही.
हाँ. But there will be a different class to whom they would be selling, who will have the purchasing power, which in fact it is today also. Like 80% of the income is generated from, let's say, 20% of the population or the high paying population. The rest तो ठीक है. The products maybe are not meant for them. So
80% of India is eating of subsidized grains.
Also,
like universal basic income still exists, but it's not in different forms.
So even in the recently concluded elections, they were giving a certain kind of freebies, right?
Yeah.
You will get X amount in your bank account. So that is a version of that.
लाडली बहना, प्यारी बहना, घर में रहना.
Different states are calling it different things, but that is just another version of that, which also is a very socialist thing, na?
Social, like Abhi yaar, like how it's so ironical that they are using socialism as an instrument for the advancement of capitalism. It's so, like, if you see the society around you, like we are giving them grains, we are giving them enough food for their family, ताकि जो उनका बच्चा है वो पढ़े ना और वो eventually स्विगी या जोमेटो में काम करे और हमारे लिए खाना डिलीवर करे.
Sad reality.
But we won't let them die. We would make them a worker for ourselves, जो कि हमसे कभी क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि हमने मरने तो नहीं दिया. तो
You'll just give them enough to keep them alive to serve your purpose.
Obviously, like जो लोअर क्लास, जो वर्किंग क्लास है, जो तुम्हारे लिए काम कर रही है, वो खत्म हो गई तो फिर कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा. तो यूबीआई अगर क्रिएट भी होगा तो वो भी इसलिए क्रिएट होगा ताकि हमारे लिए जो वर्कर, जो सब्सिडाइज्ड वर्कर है, जो अभी जैसे मैंने खाना मंगाया, वो बेचारा आया, अब माय बिल्डिंग डजंट हैव अ लिफ्ट, इतनी गर्मी में वी कांट इवन थिंक ऑफ गोइंग आउट, वो अभी 50 ऑर्डर डिलीवर करेगा एंड वो 4 मंजिल चढ़ के जा रहा है, 4 मंजिल उतरेगा, एंड ही इज डूइंग इट एवरीवेयर. व्हाई? Because his family in a way was conditioned to be not bothered to provide him with a certain type of education, is not a good word, but exposure, जहाँ पर उसे इससे आगे भी सोचा जा सकता था उसके लिए.
Not bothered or didn't have the means to do it.
But they were subsidized for it to be the case. The grains given to them कि we won't let you die. तो कुछ भी हो जाए तुम्हारा बच्चा भी survive कर ही लेगा. तो उनके लिए this is not the worst case scenario.
So then why would they aspire?
Yeah, obviously why would they do that? But by sometimes I feel sick by all of. But मुझे अपना खाना भी चाहिए जोमेटो से, तो मैं इतने बार नहीं बोल सकता. मैं डिलीवरी चार्जेस पे 10 रुपए ज्यादा नहीं दूंगा मैं. चलो.
So maybe drones delivering our food is a good idea from that moral lens, but again from a capitalistic lens it won't be efficient.
Then organizational transaction हो जाएगा ना. अभी जोमेटो को फिर अमेजोन से ड्रोन खरीदने पड़ेंगे. वो तो चार्जशीट में नहीं दिखा सकते प्रॉफिट लॉस.
बैलेंस शीट में.
बैलेंस शीट, सॉरी, चार्जशीट. चलो, let's go on to our next article as we are talking about companies and establishments. The article is Keen Bosses Strange Mistakes and a Looming Threat. Workers on Training AI to Do Their Jobs. It is on Guardian. तो क्या लगा आपको? आपसे करा है आपकी कंपनी ने AI ट्रेन?
So I have a personal story about this. I was involved in a project where I trained AI. It was a different project, and for that I was interviewed by AI. So it was an hour-long conversation where I just had to upload my CV. It took maybe 5 minutes to process that information, and then we had a 1 hour long chat about that. And it was way more contextual than some of the interviews that I have done previously. So that first level of screening is already being done by AI. And at a very good level, because it already has the context. Like first level screening में तो आप basic सवाल ही पूछ रहे हो, वो तो मेरे CV से उसको मिल गए, and it is picking up on that. Based on what I answer, it is asking contextual questions. So we have already reached that stage. So one, I cleared that interview, I got the project, and the project was also interesting. It was, well, I can't delve deeper into it, but to just give you an overview, it was about comparing the output of 2 different chatbots and training the chatbots to improve their performance. Now this was the project, and there were several humans involved in this to make it happen. Like I am training, there were others who were also training, and there was a separate team that was organizing all this. So now at this stage, ये तो एक project level पे है, but once the AI is trained on it, then all this doesn't exist. तो ये तो गया. So it is basically coming down to make hay while the sun shines. तो जब तक अब तुम कर सकते हो तब तक कर लो. Eventually you don't know ये जॉब रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा.
It ties back to our first article जहाँ पर वो reassurance दे रहा है पोप कि नहीं तुम्हारे टाइप का इंटेलिजेंस रहेगा, it won't be replaced. But यहाँ पर कह रहा है कि as soon as you train them to do what you are doing, you will be replaced.
So the article talks about a case where a 50-year-old marketing employee was asked to create AI workflows and create these documentation process and all. And once the person did it, the person was kind of asked to leave, was laid off, not citing AI, citing market conditions and other such stuff. But it was very apparent that it's because of AI. Now that is one scenario. The contrasting scenario to that has happened in China. China, where similar example was played out, where a quality assurance guy was brought in with similar task to judge the quality of AI and XYZ things. After that task was completed, the company laid that person off. Now he went to court, whatever चाइना का जो हाई कोर्ट इक्विवेलेंट है जो भी होगा, उसमें उसको रूलिंग ये मिला कि कंपनी कांट ले यू ऑफ बिकॉज ऑफ साइटिंग एआई. And then the Chinese media took it to another level. They kind of pushed that narrative. See, we are
still more
very
ethical
caring,
than
we are ethical, we are caring, we are more better than the West, which is their overarching narrative. But the fact of the matter is that it had happened. Now, are we saying that China is a more ethical nation or a more moral nation? I don't know. That there can be discussions and debates about that. But especially in this particular scenario, at least it is making an effort to do something about it. Now, like in the encyclical, there was a narrative that was pushed. But what are you doing about it? How does that translate to policy? In this particular case, the court ruled right in favor of the person that you can't be laid off. But that thing didn't happen in the case of the 50-year-old employee that the Guardian article was talking about. So I think somewhere down the line there would be some policies that will come in, just like the industrial revolution had the union. Maybe there will be some kind of a union that will happen. But again, in a capitalist society, I'm not sure how that would pan out.
Union, they are mostly dead now. Because of these new private entities, they don't exist anymore. यहाँ पर I have one more question that I wanted to rationalize. कि अभी suppose करो you've trained an AI, ठीक है, and you have been laid off. How close is it the type of output that you were giving?
Does the company care? Does the company care enough? It will come down to that. Because if they just wanted mediocre output, AI is best at that. Because it kind of leans towards the mean. So it will give you the best of the mediocre output. And if the companies are kind of okay with that, because it reduces the cost, then they would go for it. There the quality level of that particular individual will not be factored in.
Yeah. In the same article, they have laid out all the things जो कि AI fuck up कर रहा था, even after training it on the same thing. जैसे it was trained to answer a doctor's call, but doctor नहीं था, तो the 50% through the conversation it was fine, but as soon as it came down to make a choice on a doctor's behalf, it couldn't do that because अभी AI is suggesting me कि शायद मुझे कैंसर हो सकता है, but the moment it has to make that a call कि now you should go and get a treatment because तुम्हें कैंसर है, it can't do that. So it's still
in the early stages of it, which is the right segue to move into the next article, which talks about that companies are thinking of rehiring people that they kind of laid off, which is attuned to the example that you mentioned. For instance, the customer service jobs, a lot of time, like few years ago, that was considered as easily be replaceable and automated, which is what the companies did. A lot of companies tried to do, and they did also. They laid off people and installed these processes. But now they are kind of tracking back on that and saying, no, we need people. So they are rehiring. So you can just read out.
The article is by Forbes, and the article is titled "Why Companies Regret Laying Off Workers for AI." I read this one thing जहाँ पर there was this company जिसका AI token bill आया था around $500 million. Which was that company? I forgot. A big company.
I think it was Microsoft, because they initially had given a free reign to their people कि use करो.
Use जितना करना.
Public ने इतना use किया कि वो bill ज़्यादा हो गया.
$500 million हो गया. Then the actual people जो कि वो salary दे रहे हैं on a monthly basis. तो क्या लगता है आपको? Like how feasible is it? Because it is highly energy intensive job AI का. Like they need all those chips. उनको cooling करने के लिए they need a lot of water and they need a lot of energy and electricity. So it is less cost effective than actually having a person who is working, who is doing a job. और वो better quality का job करेगा. And for a boss, another incentive is कि अगर उसे काम अच्छा नहीं लगा तो उसे डांट सकता. AI को डांट नहीं सकता. So yeah.
So I think what you touched upon previously was the gap between what AI can do in a controlled environment, which is on which all these results are given out. Okay, it achieved XYZ things in this particular test or in this controlled environment. But when it comes to the real world scenarios, there are a lot of variables. Like in the case you mentioned, okay, it could do certain things good, but beyond the point, it failed to address the user's queries. So that gap is what needs to be thought of. And where do AI and where do humans kind of stand and fill that to perfection. Now, there is an interesting narrative that happened about the entire job scenario. So we can call it like the tech cycle narrative and the AI boomerang. So this started with companies overhiring during the lockdown, and then later they fired employees because citing AI. Which was more like a market correction. And then what happened? The stock market started rewarding the AI layoffs. So they kind of did it more because अच्छा ये तो reward कर रहे हैं. Then came a stage where the stock market shifted from rewarding the layoffs to kind of assessing कि तुमने ये जो investment किया है उसका return आ भी रहा है क्या? Which you mentioned कि अभी इतना tokens दे दिया free में use करने के लिए और whatever they paid for it and they encourage people to use it, तो उसका result हो रहा है क्या? We are currently at that stage where junior level hiring is kind of freezed and so there is no hiring for those levels. वो उधर ही है.
वही exist.
So basically it's like a big freeze that has happened. कि junior level jobs opportunities ही नहीं है and जो senior level है उसको वैसा ही रखा है and they are expecting the seniors to learn AI and do the job of the juniors as well. So that is the entire narrative that has panned out. One point here is what do juniors do then? The guys who just pass out of college, who have no employment history to say they are credible, what do they do? क्योंकि listings तो है नहीं.
They enjoy free coffee at office.
They become interns, unpaid interns.
मतलब basically वही it's unpaid labor but वहाँ पर incentive ये है कि training you in this as well. मेरा एक question है, अभी ये इधर लेटा हुआ है, अगर इसके पास कॉलर होता आपको लगता है ये हमारी conversation join करता?
नहीं, because it's very happy to just wag its tail and eat the food that you are giving, and we have the hubris of calling ourselves as the most intelligent and savior, whereas probably the cat is more
happy. If not intelligent, let's suppose happy.
It has made us do the work for it. Otherwise, it would have to go out and forage for food, fight predators. Now it's in a safe space and food's coming to you, just like you are ordering food for yourself. Maybe you're ordering it for your cat also.
Yeah. Sorry, junior level jobs. Abhi, that would become a conundrum. Because you won't have enough trained employees to hire for the job that you had transitioned them to AI or gave them to AI. फिर after say 5 years, now that would become the dilemma of industry. They won't have enough competent and trained personals to do the job. AI would start to fluctuate because it is trained on human intelligence only. So how far it can
उतना नहीं कर सकता.
And it can give you a general idea, लेकिन आपके लिए personalize करके नहीं दे सकते. जैसे if you ask it to make a PPT, वो इतना vague बनाएगा उस PPT को. The default color it will choose will be sky blue, and all of the headings and subheadings would be like something which can't be a narrative. There's not a thing that is going along the lines.
Again, it's deviating to the mean. Na? It's giving you a very basic vanilla product. If you are okay with it, you're okay with it. But if you are a designer or if you have certain thoughts, you would take that as a draft and then build on it.
हाँ, तो basically skeleton दे सकता है आपको. You will have to build upon it. So that's why they are rehiring. 50% of the people that they laid off are now rehired in the same organization.
So they are doing that to fill that gap where AI kind of did stuff in a simulated environment, but it couldn't do in a real world scenario. But what the question that I am asking is, what does a graduate do who has just passed out, who has no work experience, and there are no job vacancies to apply for? What I would suggest that person to do would be to create a proof of concept. If, for instance, you want a job in social media, you take your Instagram and maybe a friend's Instagram
and
or whatever and grow it to a certain level, so that when you can maybe then share it with different companies, see, hey, I did this. I already did this in a real world setting and I can maybe do this for you. or I can help you in XYZ things.
Then aren't we being unjustified to them, because aren't these demands are not
Too
justified?
much for them.
Like he just came out of a college, but say out of 1,000, one person could do that. Then what about the 999?
So this is one aspect. Ki you give a proof of concept. The other would be to start something of your own. Now
Again-
here I don't mean कि तुम अंबानी बन जाओ. It can be a simple thing. You become a freelancer or maybe pick up projects, because that is the reality that you need to look into. Just like we discussed कि एक एंड पे हम बोल रहे हैं कि भाई वैकेंसीज नहीं है, हायरिंग एक सर्टेन लेवल पे फ्रीज हो गई है, देयर इज अ ग्रे एरिया, वी डोंट नो व्हाट्स गोइंग टू हैपन नाउ, मे बी दिस गैप एग्जिस्ट, दैट इज व्हाई कंपनीज आर रीहायरिंग, बट इन 5 years time they will fix that gap and even these jobs will go. So then what happens?
The structure of the job market is such that you need a patronage right after college. So for example, अगर आपका family है वो इतना well off नहीं है that you can't survive in a city like Bombay, यहाँ पे तो even if you are quite well off तब भी थोड़ा मुश्किल ही हो जाता है. But if your family is not that well off and you've just come out of college, and to build that proof of concept या फिर build something of your own, it will take you a lot of time, a lot of patronage for that to be the case.
I'm just saying this is a
तो जो
better
company थी-
alternative than not doing anything or just sulking.
See-
I agree that this is a failure across levels of
yeah.
policymakers, of companies, of all stakeholders. But the graduate has just passed out. For him, his life is paramount. So then what does he do?
My question is that we need to have not a question, it's an opinion, that we need to have a hard look at the structure of job market that we have currently, because it is not suited for the world that we are transitioning into. Industrial jobs tak theek tha, desk job
In
tak
fact,
theek tha.
I would go one step further. It starts with the education. So education itself is not up to the mark. So job market का तो क्या ही बोले.
मैं कह रहा हूँ idea of job should be something else now. Like you don't need to do a job. We need to have another look at the employment situation that we are in, because it won't exist. Like nobody is gonna need me for say 60 years now. पहले when people used to get employment, that was it. SBI में जॉब लग गया, वो जब तक रिटायर नहीं होगा, 65 साल का नहीं होगा, 25 साल में जॉब लगी उसकी, 65 साल तक वो SBI में ही रहेगा. मतलब it gave 40 years of his life to that organization. Then the shift came जहां पर वो SBI में जॉब करेगा 5 साल, फिर वो चेंज करेगा, फिर वो कहीं और करेगा, फिर चेंज करेगा, फिर कहीं और करेगा, एंड सो एंड सो फोर्थ. उसके लिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पैरामाउंट नहीं रहा. अभी यू स्टार्टेड विद कि 2 साल यहाँ करो, फिर चेंज द जॉब, 2 साल यहाँ करो, फिर चेंज द जॉब, व्हाटएवर द केस. अभी we need to have a relook at the structure of it only. The next evolution should come.
So the next evolution is called a portfolio career,
But
where we are saying we don't ally with a company for long enough, like you say. You say this is my skill set, and we do project work. For instance, and then I can do this across
But there's
companies.
no guarantee to for
There's no
employment.
guarantee.
That's the problem. The innovation came before the evolution.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that is gonna haunt the new generation, my generation for that matter. Like I'm Gen Z, and our generation, we don't know what to do. Like we are not prepared enough for the job market that exists. We are not at the same par with the type of structure that there is in the society or in the job market. We are not, we are intelligent, we are quite intelligent, we are quite sharp, but we are not up to the evolution that just preceded us.
But I'm
लेकिन अगर वो कोविड के 2 साल नहीं जाते, maybe we would have caught up with it. Sorry.
I'm saying the situation is challenging for everyone. For Gen Z has different challenges. Millennials have different challenges.
You guys have built something. You have something to show for it. Okay, I worked in this. This is the proof. I provided this certain type of growth to this particular agency, company, or whatever. हमारे पास वो भी नहीं है. So there's no proof as well.
So there are pros and cons to it, but what I'm trying to say is that the situation is challenging for everyone across the spectrum.
Obviously.
And then, like you mentioned rightly, the innovation happened before the evolution.
Yeah.
So that's something we are in a flux right now. So all stakeholders need to look into it, but like immediately we need to look for ourselves. We can't say, okay, the government will look at it, or the industrialists will look at it. We have to think about ourselves. So what can we do in that scenario is what I suggested. Ki maybe you can try these things out. So one thing here is that, consider a team of 10. Okay, it's a big company, and in that there is a team of 10. and their Harvard pass out has come in, and he has all these brilliant ideas, and he says कि I can implement all these ideas, you don't need 8 out of these 10 people. So the boss is like, okay, it makes sense from an efficiency point of view that you will give certain processes in place and you will give ideas and all that, which will remove all these 8 people. But then it comes down to what does the owner or the boss prioritize? Do they prioritize trust or do they prioritize efficiency? By trust, I mean they have trusted those people. They have been there for a long time. They have seen through different challenges. They have proved their loyalty. In that case, what does that boss or that organization, what are they supposed to do? Because abhi, just like that Harvard guy, AI is that Harvard guy.
Yeah.
We don't know what will happen to that. Maybe some policy will come in that will say we are going to ban AI, for example. At a policy level, we are saying we'll not, like the China court ruled out, you can't lay off people or XYZ things. So we are not sure. We are in that gray area. So what does the boss do then? From an efficiency point of view, AI is very efficient. But from a human point of view, maybe they are not yet placed to take that gamble. They still want that comfort of loyalty, of that human presence, of people who have overcome challenges throughout these years, which is more true in an Indian setting than a Western setting, where the startups and all are prioritizing efficiency. Whereas in our case, there is a legacy which is there that needs to be addressed, and they are not too quick to maybe lay off a certain team just because of AI can increase their efficiency.
Maybe in future they also want to catch up with the West as we are trying to. Chalo, let's come to our next article, which was my favorite article, and because I love Claude Monet, like he's one of my favorite painters. So
interestingly named Claude.
So the article is that 6.7 million people thought they were ripping apart an AI generated Monet painting, but it was real. So basically, there was this guy who zoomed in a Monet's painting and he posted it on X, and he wrote as a
caption,
not a caption, जैसे वो आता ना watermark. So
made with AI.
हाँ, तो he made a watermark underneath ki made with AI, and then people started कि obviously it is AI. Look at the color. Look at how it's not coming perfectly. How it is not real Monet, and they started pointing out all the differences. कि real Monet painting is like this. The colors pop out. The watercolor seams. The oil colors are this way. But look at this. It is so flat and all that. How did you take that?
There's one layer that we have to look at in this. I'll just read out the tweet that he mentioned. You said कि उसने zoom किया and made with AI डाला, but the interesting thing is the tweet that which he wrote. So I'll just read it out. He said, I just generated an image in the style of a Monet painting using AI. Please describe in as much detail as possible what makes this inferior to a real Monet painting. So he has prompted the people to act in a certain way, which is what we do with LLMs. We prompt the LLM to give the output in a certain way. Now, because he has asked them and has categorically mentioned that I have created this using AI, and now your job is to tell me what makes this inferior. And like it said, right, the medium is the message. Now, if he's putting it on Twitter, वो ऐसा लगा के ये आग लगा दिया ना उसने,
उससे ज्यादा टॉक्सिक प्लेस कहीं नहीं है.
तो पब्लिक को तो फ्री रेन मिल गया. अच्छा, ये भाई ने बोला है कि AI बनाओ और वो बोल रहा है कि इसका चीर फाड़ करो, तो फिर सब कूद गए.
There's a interesting thing that I came across. There was this woman who posted this one get ready with me, and she posted that on X, and a guy, like a sweet guy, came into the comments and said, lady, this is not the place to do this. Please do it on Instagram. You won't feel any good here. People's gonna like rip you apart. So yeah, the X is not the best platform if you want something prompted in this certain way.
But यहाँ पे it served its purpose, like because he wanted that to happen.
That thing to arise. But यहाँ पे भी the real critic जो कि actually art critic हैं, they came and जैसे art historian बहुत directly he came and said कि no, it is actually real Monet, because and he was quite blunt with his language, because all of that, he said, what the fuck dude, this is a detail from the actual late Monet. You can tell because the brush strokes are so similar in the MoMA. Late ones always had the kind of wild impasto. As you said, the someone with subject matter expertise, he came and said, no, you can't fool this shit out of us. We know what it is. So like there's still some saving grace that I sometimes feel like, okay, people actually held knowledge and they was not just fluttering around.
This raises the importance of subject matter experts.
Yeah.
And AI in the hands of a subject matter expert can function at another level altogether.
Yeah.
And people need to be self-aware as to, okay, is this my expertise or not? And how do I go about it? So that is something that we need to look at while interacting with AI. So another research kind of related to that, research pointed out that people value art more when they believe it required significant human effort to create.
Or a certain sacrifice.
Yeah, effort can mean that way. So जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, कारीगरों ने बनाया है, इतना टाइम लेके बनाया है. Well, that's a different story. But yeah, so there is a negative bias to AI generated content when it is explicitly mentioned that this is AI generated. And then there is a positive bias to human generated content when it is explicitly mentioned.
Yeah.
So which again comes to we kind of value art more when they believe it required certain human effort.
Because we can experience now. Because if I say, okay, oh, this particular painting shows grief, and I'm familiar with the idea of grief, so I can relate, okay, the type of grief he was feeling, I must have also felt at various times in my life. So I can relate to that and I can actually value that. But I can see, okay, AI can't feel anything. So it shouldn't be feeling grief. It shouldn't be feeling happiness. It shouldn't be feeling the light. It shouldn't be feeling why the flowers are beautiful and all of that. I can't relate to that. Like at the core, well, we are honest. As beings, we are honest with who we are. We are subjective, cognitive beings who are really, really pathetic in various ways, but beautiful in other. हम बहुत ज़्यादा petty हैं, हम बहुत ज़्यादा jealous हैं, but we have more to love, more to admire. तो वो सबका culmination art में निकल के आता है. And when we say कि अच्छा आर्ट भी तुम में भी कर सकते हो, then we feel frustrated. No, you can't, because we know what real art is, because we can feel what the artist felt.
Again, that ties into what we discussed last time about Oscars banning AI writing and acting and saying, okay, you can use it as a tool, because somewhere down the line that lived experience comes into the picture and it matters
more than anything.
Because maybe we also don't know exactly and we can't point things out. This is what made me feel something. And that's the connect that we feel, whether it's maybe watching a painting or a movie or listening to a song. We can point out certain craft level things that, it picked this box. Technically, it was right. XYZ. So all these things AI can also do. Technically, it can do all these things. But that X factor that is missing.
The subjectivity of humankind, वो तो नहीं है उसमें.
Just the one part, I guess, maybe AI will reach a stage where it can create immersive art. I'll not call it good art or bad art or how much we connect with it. Just immersive, just like a reel can be immersive, but it is not fulfilling.
But then it won't be art, because art requires tragedy, and the tragedy of humankind specifically. Then it won't be art. It would be aesthetic, it would be pleasing, it would be emotion evoking, but it won't be art.
What if we call it, just like in the first episode we touched upon, this is not consciousness like human consciousness, maybe it is machine consciousness.
Some other term we
what
need to
if
come
it
out.
comes to a stage where we say, like art you mentioned, art is human art, but we call it something like machine art.
Machine art.
And then
a new term we need to come
maybe
up
we are okay to engage with it from that.
But I would like to see, अगर Monet exist नहीं करता, could AI make painting in his style, like on its own?
There is no style to replicate.
Exactly. So there's no reference point. तो वो कभी आ ही नहीं पाती. तो the artist Monet existed regardless of AI, regardless of anything. अगर वो अकेला इंसान होता on this planet, तो भी वो same type की ही art create करता. लेकिन
Also,
AI can't.
he is not, this kind of goes into that spiritual realm, but he is not creating. It's like the absence of ego, and what's left is creating this.
Yeah.
So how do we wrap our mind around this when it comes to AI?
Talking of rap, I think that's the wrap.
That's a wrap on
So,
this. If you have any interesting topics that you would like us to discuss, feel free to
share it.
share it with us, and we'll pick those up. Also, if you liked certain kind of topics that we touched upon, you can just
Tell us.
point it on. We'll be happy to know.
And thank you for joining us in our second episode. We'll see you soon. Until then, bye bye.